Do you have algae problems? Are you not enjoying your tank because of it? Before you give up on your tank, try this 5-day method. I actually made a video about this a while ago. It's a very good video, but back then I wasn't doing voiceovers yet. So now that the channel's grown, I wanted to bring it back in a better format because the information is really valuable. And I believe it can help a lot of you because it really helped me. So before you give up on your tank, check this out. So what I'm going to show you is something I did a while ago. This nano tank got completely overtaken by algae, specifically green fuzz algae. It was a beta tank, and as you probably know, they need warm water, and that's never good for algae. So if your tank is already covered in algae, the first step is simple. Remove as much of it as possible by hand. Trim your plants, especially the ones that are heavily infested. In my case, I trim back the carpet and remove a bunch of stem plants too. Focus on the most affected areas. Don't worry about perfection. One little trick that helped me a lot here: turn off your filter before you trim. That way, the plant cuttings won't get sucked in or scattered. They'll just float straight to the top. When you're done trimming, leave the filter off and scoop everything from the surface. If hardscape is in the way and pieces are getting stuck, try scooping in one spot repeatedly. The current you create will eventually pull the cuttings towards you. After that, use a siphon to suction up any leftover algae and debris. Do a good job at removing the leftover algae. The more you remove now, the better the next steps will work. Then refill the tank, and you're ready for what's next. If you don't want to have to refill the tank, you can use something like this little vacuum that I made, which allows you to pick up debris without removing any water. This is the only step where you'll physically touch the algae. After this, the rest is about control, balance, and recovery. The second step is adding temporarily algae eaters, specifically a mano shrimp. They are one of the best cleanup crew members you can get. And the key word here is temporarily. You are only keeping them in the tank for 5 days. Here's where one of the tips I've mentioned before comes really handy: being involved with your tank. You know, hand feeding, doing some trimming, scraping the glass. Even if your tank doesn't really need it, just a little touch up here and there. It helps your fish get used to you. They get comfortable around you. And you can clearly see that right here. It was so easy to catch them. They were swimming towards the net. Okay, moving on. For my nano cube, I already had 2 amanos, so I added 5 more, bringing the total to 7. And yes, I removed them after the 5 days were up. You don't need to keep them permanently. Actually, you shouldn't. This is just an extra push to get algae under control quickly. The shrimp went right to work. And if you've never seen amanos in action, they don't waste time. I know not everyone can grab a handful of shrimp from another tank, but if you can temporarily borrow a few from another setup or even buy them with the intention to rehome them later, it really helps. This step works best when done alongside the others. The shrimp will take care of whatever the trimming missed, and they'll keep any leftover algae from rebounding during the next step. If you guys are enjoying the video, remember to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and it helps me to be able to keep making content about this beautiful hobby. Step 3 is a full blackout. No lights, no CO2, nor fertilizers. The goal here is to cut off algae's energy supply. I used a piece of corrugated plastic to make a DIY frame. Then I used a blackout curtain to cover it and block every bit of light. Once the blackout starts, turn off your CO2 system. Algae thrives when conditions are ideal, and CO2 plus light is a perfect recipe for algae. We're taking that away for now. Also, turn on an air pump during this time to keep oxygen levels up. and stop all fertilizer dosing until the blackout is over. I did this blackout for 3 days, and right before it started, I made sure to feed my betta well. It's kind of funny, he didn't care at all about the trim. I thought he was gonna be a little aggressive, maybe, when I added the new trim to the tank, but he didn't, not at all, which is nice. He just watched them do their thing while the lights were still on. But once that curtain went over the tank, the real work began. This is the step that ties everything together. Starting on day 1, do daily water changes, removing and replacing 1/5 of the water. Do it again on day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5. By the end, you have changed the entire volume of your tank across 5 days. No fertilizer goes back in during this time. And with the blackout still going, there's no light either. That means plants are on pause. They won't grow. But algae, be much simpler, starts to die off without nutrients or light. Here's the full timeline. Day 1, remove algae by hand, do your first 1/5 water change, add the amanos, and start the blackout. Day 2 and 3, continue the blackout, keep doing daily water changes. Day 4 and 5, the blackout ends, but water changes continue. No fertilizer yet. At the end of day 5, remove the extra amanos and check your tank. It might not be perfect, but in my case, it was a dramatic improvement, especially the carpet. It went from covered in algae to clean and vibrant. It didn't take weeks, just 5 days. So you've made it through the 5 days. Now what? What exactly do you do once the 5 days are over? First, you can start dosing fertilizers again, but do it light at first. You just removed all the algae and reset the tank's balance. No need to dump in a full dose on day 6. Let the plants show you what they need. If they are pearling, growing, and looking healthy, you're on the right track. As for CO2, if you were using it before, now's the time to turn it back on. Keep an eye on plant behavior. Melting, twisting, or pale leaves might mean your CO2 or ferts need tweaking. You've got a clean slate now, so it's easier to dial things in. And don't forget to watch your algae group. If you borrowed amanos for this, now's the time to remove them. This is also the best time to start figuring out what caused the algae in the first place. I really recommend this method. It's not hard, but it works best when you do all 4 steps together. Just keep in mind, this is a drastic reset. It's not something you need to do unless your tank is a full-on algae mess. And even if it clears things up in 5 days, it won't stay that way unless you fix the cause. Whether it's lighting, CO2, nutrients, or flow, algae always has a reason. This gets things back under control, but solving the root of the problem is what keeps it that way. Let me know how it goes if you try it, and I'll see you in the next video.